Okay, so I'm gonna talk briefly about the history about why how I found out about him, why I got into him. Then I have some photos to show you. Then I'm gonna go through the qualities about him that I love, show you my art, and then I have recommendations, many of which are on the papers that I passed out. Okay, so how I first became obsessed in 2023, I watched The Last of Us. I like dystopian, so that's how I got into it. Actually, I really had no thoughts about him when I first saw him. He wasn't really my type, and I was just like, okay, some older guy, whatever. But then after I watched the whole show, I saw this picture. And I said, "Oh my God! Like, what is that? Like that? Like, like that's because if you know his character is very rough and has really like no personality. And then so, so, I mean, he's very like stern, you know. So I was just like, who is this? Like, how is this the same person? So that got me intrigued, and I snowballed. I couldn't help it. It just kept showing me more and more. These are some interviews that I just would watch like over and over whenever I was needing a pick me up. And this one you have to see because, okay, he's known to dance, and I just love it. I found him at a time when I was kind of depressed, and I just like I felt like I had like a boost of serotonin whenever I would watch videos, interviews of his. It's actually like the fan base calls it Pedrotonin, like it's a thing. You can get a sticker of like a pill bottle that says that. These are some pictures of just from his childhood because he was really cute, and I wanted you to see. And yes, he was blonde, and that's his dad. At the bottom, a lot of people think that's Pedro because he looks like him in that bottom picture. And yeah, he has three siblings: Javiera, Nico, and Lux. And there's a big gap in age difference between him and his older sister and the younger two. And then his parents are Jose and Veronica. And let's see, let's go to the next one. The next one are more current pictures that I really like. I really like these pictures. The red outfits from the Met Gala from 2 years ago, and that was a big hit in the fans. The top right one is him at Comic Con 2014, which to me was the best day that he ever looked. He looked. So I love that day. And if you notice in the bottom left, it says Pedro Balmaceda, and that's actually his original last name. But he took his mother's last name when she died when he was 24. So now, yeah, he goes by Pedro Pascal. I thought that was really sweet. And he also has a tattoo of her initials, her signature on his wrist. Okay, so the qualities that I love about him: he's kind hearted, he's compassionate, supportive, he's really the best brother. Losing his mom when he was in his 20s, and then his two younger siblings were like little kids. He has said that, it made him very protective and kind of take on a little bit more of a parental role. And he wanted to always show that he was there for them. And then he's been quoted as saying compassion for others is a very basic thing. It's easy to do. If you look at the top picture, he's with Sarah Paulson. He's known her since they were like 18 or 19, and she's one of the people that's helped him when he was a struggling actor for 15 years. So he has said that like people like that, they'll never have to pay when they go to dinner because he has to, repay them for what they did for him. He's a big dog lover. That's his dog he used to have named Edgar. He rehomed him, unfortunately, because he got really busy with travel, with work. So he couldn't, devote the time. And then I like the bottom picture because he's the only one in the cast that went up to pet the dogs, and that would be me. And then on the left, it's him and Bella Ramsey from Last of Us, and he's taken on a really adorable kind of parental role, but they're also kind of equal. It's funny because he's very, kid-like. So if you ever get a chance, watch interviews of them too, because it'll make your day. Next, quality sensitive. So he's emotionally candid. He's always open about talking about his personal things like grief and his insecurities. So I really appreciate that about him. And he's not afraid to show emotion. This is when he won the SAG Award on the bottom left. The right is him acting. It's in Last of Us. But I swear, just whenever he cries, you can't help but cry. Like, that's, yeah. There's something about him, that he's not afraid to not look super macho, that it's okay, as a man to be emotional. Obviously, he's funny. I love him being so self-effacing. Look at that. He used to be on Twitter. He's not anymore because he left when Elon bought it. But he used to be known to be really heavy on Twitter, and it says, I saw a guy that looked like a less attractive Pedro on my way to the gym today, and he said that was me. And then, there are a lot of haters online, and someone said they were losing respect for him, and then he corrected their spelling. He's very active. He does that now on Facebook. He answers a lot of haters on Facebook. And he was amazing on SNL. That's his character on the left. You have to watch him on SNL. And let's see. Yeah, he has charisma, obviously. But he's very approachable. That's what a lot of people will say that have met him. And that where he's winking right there, that was at a Comic-Con 2014, and somebody was asking him what he was doing later. So, but it's cute because he's like flirting, but like he's also kind of scared and like doesn't want to. He's not, he's shy about it. It's cute. He's resilient. So there's a quote. He said, I was bullied for being a weird, sensitive kid, for being an attention-hungry kid, for being in love with movies and theater and art. So he actually did switch to a high school that was focused on the arts because of that. But he's obviously resilient. And he spent 15 years as a struggling actor. You could see some of his earlier roles at the bottom. You could see the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's kind of known as his first big role. And he was living, paycheck to paycheck. He talks a lot about being a waiter, and he was fired 10 times, I guess, because he couldn't. I don't know, he just couldn't deal with people. And then the loss of his mom. So he's very open about that, and he says that he feels none of his success would be if not for her in a recent Vanity Fair article. And then authentic, he has no filter. He says what he thinks.
What's your favorite account?
It's called Pedro Pascal fan account.
He just can't lie. He's just always himself. And yeah, so basically anyone that knows him in real life, they'll say he's the same person, off camera as on, and I really appreciate that. He's an advocate, especially for the trans LGBT community and immigrants and refugees. His family are refugee. I'll talk about first trans. So his sister, Lux, is trans, and he's a big advocate for that issue. If you see, he's wearing a Protect the Dolls shirt that was to raise money for a trans cause. And he's very vocal on social media. He doesn't care about all the haters that he gets. I love these quotes. You can read them for yourself at the top. I always love that he talks about being there for the underdog and people that feel like others. The top right is him at a women's march. And then immigration, he's very passionate about because his family are refugees from Chile. He was 9 months old when they had to flee to Denmark because his family was part of the opposition to dictatorship. And then after Denmark, when he was still a baby, they moved to Texas. So he really feels passionate about that and appreciates his family for how they struggled. And then finally, he's relatable. So he lives modestly. The fans love that. Look at the shirt. He's always wearing that Lakers shirt. There's even an Instagram about that, for that Lakers shirt. And so and he's known to just live modestly. He might be living, they said, his dad, I think, said he lives in a back house in Venice. It's he hasn't changed because he became famous when he was older. So he even said once that he was kind of fully baked when he got famous. Not that way, but like he was who he was, and he's not going to change. He flies economy, like he's very down to earth. Then he also was like, he kind of acts like he's one of us. Like he always talks about other movie stars as if they are, above him. Like he worked with Nicolas Cage and he was in awe of him, and Sigourney Weaver, all these people that he, grew up, because he didn't become famous till he was like 38 or 39. And then anxiety and self-esteem. So those are more personal ways I relate. He's talked about having anxiety. It says there in that quote that he's had it, since he was a child, and I do too. And so I just really appreciate that he's open about that. And he's talked about his self-esteem issues, that he if you look at the bottom left, that was from his recent movie, The Materialist. And he was saying that he was supposed to play like Lothario, but he had gained weight and he didn't feel very attractive and that he could fit that part. So I really appreciate whenever he's very open about it. And that's my art. So he's really kind of caused me to be motivated to make art, because I get really lazy. And so this is using Photoshop and I'm like blanking. What is it called even on my iPad? Procreate. Yes. Okay. Thanks. And I learned how to, for this, I learned how to do like the animate. Like I actually had to learn something to make this thing on the top left. And this up here is part of a series. I was doing like a card deck for a graphic design class. They started getting tired of me and my Pedro stuff too. I have a Redbubble if anyone's interested, that I do put my Pedro art on. And also Pedro Tober is coming up if anyone wants to participate. I say that seriously. Every October there's something on Instagram where you can, participate with all the Pedro fans in making art. And every day is a different prompt. And that's how half my art is made, because I feel the pressure and I want to be part of it. And recommendations. So this is just some of his lesser known work that I want to mention, because not many people know about these. Touched by an Angel episode. He was really amazing in that. Iris is a short film. You can find that on YouTube. He's really good in that, because you can't tell at first if he's bad or good. Bloodsucking Bastards is really, it's kind of like a campy movie. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a good movie when you first start it, but he's obviously the best part, and he's really good in it, and I recommend it. And then Prospect is another movie that I don't know that many people have heard of, but it's also, he's really great in it, and that's actually where Star Wars found him from, and they saw that and they said that they wanted to put him as the Mandalorian. So The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is really great. You all know this meme probably, that's why I put it. So you don't know the movie, but you know the meme where he's smiling at Nicolas Cage. That's a really good movie. Wild Robot, he plays Fink the Fox, and it's funny because he has said that that's the character that he's like most like out of all his characters. And so that's a great movie in general. Freaky Tales, I was fortunate enough to see that in theaters. It was at the Lemley. It was kind of small release, but it's really good. And he's in the last act. There's like 3 different stories, and it's generally a very good movie that I recommend. And that's it. Oh, wait. It was supposed to say the end in the middle. It did, but it's gone. It's okay. And yeah, that's it. If anyone has any questions, I could tell you anything about him.
I also just want to point out that Lauren has something. Is this art you've made or collected?
So this is art I've collected. Could you hold up the one with him on a sandwich? So there's I'm supporting a lot of small businesses. There's somebody that does celebs on sandwiches. So that's like some kind of Chilean sandwich, I don't know what it. And then there's one of him as a merman. I found that randomly at a art fair. I was like, how could I not get that? And there's the glittery one there. I commissioned that one. It started looking more like Leo DiCaprio, but I had her make some changes. I was like, the mustache is not quite right. The eyebrows are not quite right. I think it turned out okay. And then, this one, let me just plug this one in really quick. Yeah. Wait, what is it? Can you do it? Yeah. That was at just some random, horror event. I just, I can't not get it if I see him. This is from the Cuddle Cults. They do different. They have a giant one. I wasn't gonna pay that, but they have they have all of these different celebrities, and it says at the back, "Daddy is a state of mind," which is a quote of his. And that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Give it up.
I don't know.